he made a very significant move from Eintracht Frankfurt to the Colorado Rapids in MLS. 22-year-old midfielder, was part of the Gold Cup roster, and we just think he's got a bright future. We're very excited to have him and talk to him. Paxten Aaronson, welcome. Great to see you, as always. Looking sharp this morning.
Thank you.
So Paxten, you've had a busy couple days. What's been happening? Catch us up on all the good news.
So yeah, I landed on last Wednesday, did my medical Thursday, first training with the team Friday, then flew to LA and made my debut for the Rapids. And then this has been the first week where I've actually gotten settled down, kind of find my feet, train with the team, look for apartments, all that good stuff.
Yeah, how's that process been, especially kind of moving from the European experience back to the States?
Yeah, I think it's different, but I got to experience it when I was way younger, so I'm way more familiar with it than.
But now you're a grown ass man, Paxten. It's different when you're a grown ass man.
You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. He's got like a deeper voice now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I would say that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. 22 as a grown ass man. That might be.
All right. You're getting there.
Yeah.
So Paxten, kind of walk us, first off, congratulations. And by the way, I for those who maybe didn't see your press conference, kind of walk us through like the first time you're in Europe. You're obviously on loan, had a great season last year. Everyone thinks you're going back to Frankfurt, and you now make this decision. Kind of walk us through from like the first day someone calls you, your agent, someone from whoever it was, and they're like, okay, there's a chance for you to go to the Colorado Rapids. Like from that to how you eventually get to Colorado.
Yeah, well, I'll take you back even before it. After my season at Utrecht, I kind of was feeling great after that season, and I knew that the next step with the World Cup coming and all of what had happened last year, I know I needed to go to a club where I could do exactly what I did last year. So my agents and myself and Frankfurt, we were all open with each other and said, like, look, if Frankfurt can't provide that, then let's work on something, and maybe it's going back to Utrecht. And they said, yeah, let's come back to Frankfurt, see how it goes in preseason, all of this stuff. And yeah, I was open to it because a club like Frankfurt, if I can go and impress and play there, then yeah, it's like the pinnacle. It's a Champions League club, top 5 league. So I was going to try to go there and make the best of it. And then I think as the preseason went on, me and the club kind of mutually agreed that they probably couldn't give me the minutes that were beneficial for me, especially after the season I had last season. So it was kind of mutual to start looking for other clubs and probably find a solution. And my agents did a great job. But yeah, I wasn't even expecting to kind of come back to MLS. It wasn't in my mind till my agent called me and said, yeah, Colorado are interested. They have an open spot, all this stuff. And then kind of got down to it. They came back with some serious interest. And then what really kind of turned my head is when I had the phone call with the Colorado staff and Chris, and kind of the idea that they proposed to me, I think was something unique where I don't even think a lot of European clubs can offer what they offered me in terms of coming to a new challenge. Wearing the number 10, kind of coming into a team where I can, influence. And I think for me, that's a different aspect of my game where I haven't been able to kind of work on. And I think it'll bring out different sides of me that I think I know will get the best out of me, kind of freedom on the field, free flowing, and kind of giving the green light to try stuff. And I think that's what really intrigued me.
I mean, it probably helps a little bit too that one, you're counted on. They're saying, hey, Paxten, you're going to be our franchise. Essentially, you're expected to deliver. We're going to pay you handsomely, but you got to bring it every week to help us grow. Did a part of you also think with Pochettino, the way he's kind of framed things now, that no matter where you're playing, if you're playing well, especially in MLS, I will call you in. Did that also help this decision to make it a little bit easier for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, I knew I couldn't go somewhere where I wasn't going to play. And yeah, of course, nothing's ever guaranteed in life or in soccer, but I knew coming up with the World Cup, and like you said, especially how Pochettino speaks about the MLS, and just, when you look at the rosters he selects, I know that MLS, you don't have a big red X next to your name. So that was definitely a part of it.
Okay, so Paxten, I assume your family is part of your circle of trust when you're making big decisions. And so using your family as as the context for this question, your brother, Brenden, plays at Leeds, kind of in and out of the team, not maybe playing as much as he would like to be the guy that I'm sure he wants the same opportunity. He wants to wear the number 10 shirt and be the guy and be a player that the offense or the attack is built around. Does his experience or his insight or feedback, did that inform maybe part of your decision to come back and say, hey, this is a good opportunity for me to kind of spread my wings? And that way I'm not kind of stuck on benches or having to go out on loan again and having to reset every year when Eintracht maybe isn't giving me the opportunities I deserve.
Yeah, I mean, we never really spoke about that, but I kind of just take in every glance. And yeah, I mean, my brother's a huge part of my life, and seeing his career, he's had so many ups and downs. Same with me. I've been on loan 2 seasons in a row, haven't really been able to settle down. But I think also when you look on the other side of it, it can form a player. Like when he goes on loan to Union, it doesn't really work out. He comes back to Leeds and has a fantastic season and gets promoted. And now this season, like you said, he's kind of fighting again. And these are the kind of things that happen, I would say, in Europe more so. But it can also shape a player. But then he totally understood me coming back and the opportunity that they presented. He said, yeah, I think it's so unique, and you have to listen to it and consider it.
So you talk about this, you mentioned the project a couple times in your press conference, right? And how they sold you on this from a personal standpoint. Obviously the roster just came out. We know that you're not on this roster. You mentioned the national team being important. Like you're clearly going to benefit the Colorado Rapids, but you want to grow your game. What in your game do you think needs to grow from here to get you to where you want to be at that next level?
I would say decisiveness and 100% confidence in and around the box. I think I showcased it last year in the Netherlands, but I think even more so if I was more composed in and around the box, I probably could have double-digited my goals. I've always been good at getting chances and being in the right positions, but I think having the freedom here to kind of just relax and be able to assess everything, where sometimes last year I felt myself, you guys know it, when you're in and around the box, you can try to rush things because there's so many different players running at you and all these kind of things. So I think just settling down and focusing on these attributes, and working on little things, free kicks, set pieces, just really achieving and maturing in those aspects, I think can get me to the top level.
So I'm curious, Paxten, because I've seen your growth. I got to play with your brother, and I got to see, a young Brenden just coming through the scene and then flourishing, right?
Yeah.
You go to Europe. You get the big move to Frankfurt, and you, like you said, you go to the Eredivisie, you're fighting. But then this past season at Utrecht, you literally took off. You were a big player. Do you feel that the Eredivisie, you've seen it now, is comparable with MLS? Is it as challenging? Is it maybe just 4 or 5 teams, and then there's a massive drop off? And how have you grown throughout this loan year?
Hey, Chuck, put some respect on Go Ahead Eagles. Okay, they won the cup.
Hey, I swear this team, they play like Barcelona in the Dutch league. They're a really good team. But no, that's a good question. I think, like you said, the top 6 teams in the Dutch league, 7 teams are like top. Like when you play them, you feel the difference of the intensity of just the atmosphere, the quality of the players. And then you also see the transfers that the top 6 clubs make. Like AZ, their transfer window this past summer was just unbelievable, the talent that they produce. But then I think, as you go down, the quality of the teams, I think the standard in the MLS across the league is probably more fair. The top 6 kind of dominate the Netherlands, where the bottom have a harder time. I think it is similar in playing style. I think in terms of possession-based, it's not like full press every game, the entire 90 minutes. So it's a little bit reserved in that aspect, where Germany's just 90 minutes full gas, don't even look, you just sprinting at the guy in front of you. So I think there's definitely comparisons in terms of how they play and the quality.
All right, so Paxten, this is the big question for us that we had over the summer. Charlie's been claiming forever that he could beat Jack McGlynn in a 30-yard race. and so given that you spent the summer with Jack McGlynn, and And this is Chuck. This is Chuck now, by the way. It's not Chuck at his
Paxton,
peak.
you don't know how important this answer
This is a really important
you have
answer.
no idea how.
Who do you think would win in a race between Charlie Davies?
We're
at this
talking 20
particular
yards. 20 yards.
Yeah,
What if we get
I'm
20
giving
yards?
it to Charlie. I always give
Come on,
Jack.
Paxton.
Well, Jack's my best friend, so he'll probably send me to this later and talk a lot of shit. But he knows every time I rip on him, I tell him how slow he is. So
See,
yeah,
it's a known thing, but obviously he's a wizard with his left foot. But what I'm saying is, when you're throwing out Jack McGlynn as a winger at the international level, I said, come on, let's be real. We're talking about running by guys. That's how it came.
Honestly, I'll give him credit. I think he has gotten faster. I think he's been doing some speed drills or whatnot. But when I first came into the league with him when we were 16, it was so funny. Everybody in the locker room would just tell him how slow he is. But he makes up, like you said, he makes up for it with other attributes like that left foot.
Yeah.
This conversation went from 40 yards to 30 yards. Now we're doing 20 yards.
Yeah.
Really good.
This
I
is
get
good
the
Jordan
hamstring is going to
shorter.
go after 20 yards.
After 25, it gets a little rickety, you know. So
Yeah. Don't want to pull a hamstring.
no.
Paxton, I'm curious, where for you, like what's the best position for you? Like where do you like to operate them? I mean, we see you play obviously in a few different positions, but like in what formation, what position is like sort of best suits you in your mind?
I just like 4-3-3, like left center mid, like a number 8. I think that's where I did all my work. The 2 seasons in the Netherlands, that's where I improved my game the most. I think it gives me the ability to win balls. I think I'm always better when I'm just in and around the game. Sometimes when I'm playing like a really high position, it's hard for me to find the game. So I kind of like when the game just finds me. When maybe we don't have the ball as much, but I can tackle guys, win the ball, and then transition, and then join the box late. I think that's my highest quality.
Paxton, was there a specific coach or teammate in Europe who challenged you in ways that, you know, you maybe made you change the way you see the game?
Yeah, I think my first coach I had at Eintracht Frankfurt, Oli Glasner, he's at Palace now. Yeah, it was just such a big step when I went from Union straight to Frankfurt, but he did such a good job of, comforting me, but also, putting in such high demand. I think he taught me so many different aspects of like little things, like when to press, where to block the passing lane, like all these little things that sometimes you don't even think about, but then after 6 months, I remember coming back to the U23s in the summer, and I just immediately knew like the steps I had taken in such a short time being under him.
Hey, did you give him a call and say, hey, just so you know, I came back to the Rapids, play a couple seasons, then I'll be ready for Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? Or
No,
he might be gone by that time. He's done really well.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's a great coach.
All right, Paxton, last question before we let you go. This is the tradition here. Call it what you want. Your favorite jersey swap story. Maybe you changed with one of your teammates at Eintracht. You had Omar Mamouche, you had Ekatike. I mean, you had guys you could do it there, or maybe there was someone you played against, got the jersey, maybe the national team level. What's your best jersey swap story?
No, like you said, I have a lot from Frankfurt. Like I have a cool Japan jersey from Daichi Kamada, Kolomani. Nice. Yeah, Egyptian Marmouche jersey. But my favorite one is my brother. When I played, it's so just sweet. Like, it's cool. When I played against him at Berlin, we were both on the field at the same time, and then after we came in and changed jerseys, it's just, that's like uncomparable.
Very cool.
The Aaronson brothers come together.
That's a great one. Your parents must love that one.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They will.
Yeah. Paxton, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. We wish you the best of luck with the Colorado Rapids here in the stretch run of MLS, and hopefully we'll have you back on the show very, very soon. Paxten Aaronson, everybody.
Guys.
Look at you getting to the end of the video. All right. Very proud of you. Now, if you want more average to good content, this is your channel. Go look at other videos, playlists. We have it all figured out. For more of the good stuff, then you got to make sure you hit like on this video, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything, and then turn on your notifications so you know when we're going live or if anything drops right when it comes out. We'd really appreciate it. See you next time.